So, next question is number 9. If 1 micron is 10,000 angstroms, then 100 angstroms is what percent of 10 microns? Now remember that 10 microns could be written as, so if 1 micron is 10,000 angstroms, then 10 microns are 10 times 10,000 angstroms, which is 100,000 angstroms. Now, what is 100 angstroms as a percentage of 10,000, 100,000 angstroms? So we'll need to multiply by this in percentage, and you'll get accordingly. So this would give you, cancel out those two zeros, for example, another two zeros, you will get 1 over 10%, which is 0.1%, which is choice number C. Question number 10. On a test consisting of 80 questions, Mary answered 75% of the first 60 questions correctly. What percent of the other 20 questions did she need to answer correctly for her grade on the entire exam to be 80%? Now, out of 80 questions, 80% is how much? So 0.8 multiplied by 80, which gives you 64 correct questions. Now, of the first 60 questions, she answered 75 questions, 75% of the questions correctly. So 60 multiplied by 0.75 would give you the number of correct answers on the first 60. And you'll be left with 20 questions, and you need to know how many questions on the last 20 should she answer correctly to be 64 questions correct. So 60%, 60 times 0.75 is equal to, so that's 45 questions. She still needs 64 minus 45, which is equal to 19 questions. So 64 minus 45, this is 19. And then you need to know of the 20 questions left, what percentage she should answer correctly. So she should answer of the 20 questions left, 19. So what is 19 out of 20 as a percentage? And that's equal to, so let me calculate that. So 19 divided by 20 multiplied by 100, that's 95%. So your answer is choice number C. Number 11. A jar contains 2000 marbles. If 61.5% of them are red, 27.2% of them are white, and 10% of them are blue, how many are neither red, white, nor blue? So remember that the percentages should add to 100. So we're left with an x value plus 61.5 plus 27.2 plus 10, and this should give me 100. Accordingly, we can calculate x, which is equal to 100% minus, this would give me 98.7%, which is equal to 1.3%. So those are the left marbles that are neither red nor white nor blue. Accordingly, 1.3% of the 2000 would give me 26 marbles. So 1.3% multiplied by 2000 is equal to 0.013 times 2000, which is equal to 26 marbles. Accordingly, you shade the values. Number 12. If 25 students took an exam and 4 of them failed, what percent of them passed? So if 4 failed, then 21 passed. So 21 divided by 25 times 100%, this would give me the percentage, the correct percentage, which is 84%. And that's your answer. Next question, number 13. There are twice as many girls as boys in an English class. If 30% of the girls and 45% of the boys have already handed in their book reports, what percent of the students have not yet handed in their reports? So remember that twice as many girls as boys. So let's say the total is x plus y, where x is the number of boys and y is the number of girls, as an example. So remember that this is the total, and x as boys are so y, which is girls, are twice as many as boys, so y is equal to 2x. And if 30% of the girls and 45% of the boys already have handed in, so what is 30% of the girls? So 0.3 times y and 0.45 times x. Remember, the total could be written as well as x plus 2x, since the number of girls is 2x. And instead of this y, we can write 2x as well. So 0.3 times 2x and 0.45x, those are the people who handed in their answers. We still need to check for those who didn't hand in their questions. So 0.7 of 2x, which is the reciprocal of this, or the complement of this, and the complement of this is 0.55% of x. Accordingly, the sum of those two would give me the, the number of people who didn't answer. So 0.7 times 2 plus 0.55. So we have 1.95x, 1.95x who did not hand in their answers yet. And those out of the total, which is 3x, so if you look at this, you would get the percentage of people who didn't hand in their answers. So 1.95x divided by 3x is equal to 1.95 divided by 3, which is equal to 0.65, and times 100 you'll get 65%, since he's asking for the percentage. So 65%, since this is 0.65, and you need to multiply it by 100%. Question number 14. During a sale, a clerk was putting a new price tag on each item. On one radio, he accidentally raised the price by 15% instead of lowering the price by 15%. As a result, the price on the tag was $45 too high. What was the original price in dollars of the radio? So now 150, sorry, let's say P is the price of the original tag. The radio was priced at 1.15p instead of 0.85p. Now the difference between the two, why is it 1.15? Because it's 1 plus 0.15% or 15%, and this is 1 minus 0.15. Okay, so accordingly, the difference between those two is $45. Accordingly, 1.15p minus 0.85p gives me 30p, or 0.3p, and this should be equal to 45. Accordingly, p is equal to 45 divided by 0.3, which is equal to 150, and that's your answer. If a person has an income, number 15 now, if a person has an income of $100,000, what percent of his income does he pay in federal tax if the tax rate is given as below? So for the first 30,000, of his income, he pays 15%. The next 30,000 he pays 28, and everything above 60,000 he'll pay 28%. So for the first 30,000 of the 100, he will pay 15%, which is 30,000 multiplied by 0.15, plus for the next, which are the next 30,000, he would pay 28%, which is 0.28, plus for the last 40, which are above the 60,000, he would pay 31%, which is times 0.31, and your answer here would be, let me calculate that, this would give you 25,300. Now, what percentage of his total sales is that? This you would be dividing 25,300 by 100,000 and multiplying it by 100%, which would give you 25.3, and that's your answer. Thank you for attending the sessions. Hopefully you benefited. Next time we will have a face-to-face session, and you can ask me as much as you want, and we will be explaining the questions that weren't clear in this sessions enough.